Welcome CNG 130 or 124. Going to be doing this recording on my Surface, so I have a little different angle than what you usually see. Let's see. The discussions. Sorry, it's easier for me to look on my computer. So let's see. Had some reflections that knowing what hardware goes on the physical layer, the data link layer. Remember that part of the course was actually trying to figure out specific hardware is linked to OSI layers. Exactly. So I believe we have a slide from a few weeks ago that actually lends us a diagram of what hardware is available at either the OSI model or the TCP/IP model. So that will help you in that there. To the acronyms of this course, yes. There are acronyms specific to computer networking, specific to A+, specific to security. So there's a lot of acronyms guys are going to be getting tossed at you. But make sure when you're speaking with somebody, you're setting a context for the acronyms. Maybe you do a lead-in like saying, well, in networking, I guess I wouldn't use SSO. In networking, ARP is the address resolution protocol for MAC addresses to be connected to IP addresses. If you're using that in some sort of context, will help whoever you're talking to make the correct association with your three-letter word, four-letter word, TLA, SLA, etc. Oh, my battery's a little low. So that'll help them there. What else was it? Subnetting. I saw only assignments. I see only 2 workbook submissions. Thank you for those. 2 different people, it looks like. Thank you for those. But those of you that are putting in your discussions that you're having a hard time, make sure you go to that practice workbook. That is located at the very, very top. Getting started. IPv4 workbook. Print that off either at a campus or at home and start working on it. This week is a very important week. I guess I always say that, but this week is especially important because we have no reading. That does not mean don't do any homework. Make sure you're still practicing those skills. Make sure you're still getting that done. But the homework submodel, I have videos for Lab 8 and Lab 9. If you ever need to go back in a course or look at the homework videos for a different week, make sure you go back there and check it out. Let's see. Going back to the workbook, start working through, I believe they start at 17 and keep on going all the way up. Let's see, it's fill and sign. Why do I want to text? That's not what I wanted. Okay. But anyways, when you're working through here, when you're working through the problems about subnetting, make sure you're identifying. Let's see. I think we have subnetting 3 this week. Make sure you're identifying network addresses, broadcast addresses, and that leads me to Ron's lab discussion. He was asking, how do you broadcast a whole subnetted network? And really, the only way to broadcast a network would be specific to that network. You couldn't broadcast from broadcast one network into another network, into another network. It would just be one broadcast at a time, and usually it's very, very specific protocols that are using the broadcast accessibility, and that's DHCP, BootTP or BootP, maybe slim chance of ARP, but that uses more or less usually ARP or Mac broadcast. But really, no real way to broadcast through different networks to get to other networks. It'd be just traveling through one network, getting to the network it needs to broadcast to, and then broadcasting in that network. Going down to workbook 3, or subnetting 3. So this week when we start to work on this, oops, I guess I got the date wrong on that one. Once we start to work through this, make sure that the subnets, and so far everyone's doing a very good job, keep the hard work up. We always start at 0, and then the network, hopefully this highlights this on your screen. The area here where it says 192.168.507, that is just an IP address. That's all that is, just an IP address, and you're trying to find the network address for that IP address and the broadcast address for that IP address. In some cases, it can be either one, a network or broadcast, but all it is just an IP address, and you're trying to find out what it is. There were some questions about hosts and nodes. There's interchangeable languages, as we've seen so far. They both equal the same thing. Host is a node is a host. I could put N devices in there, and all of it would equal the same thing. How many usable hosts, nodes, N devices are per subnet? I'll start grading today on the lab updates and give you some information. But remember, if you're having a hard time, make sure you go back and use the workbook. That's your practice right there for that. When we get to building a hub network, make sure to download the packet tracer. Follow the directions. So there's your packet tracer file right there. That's what you'll use in packet tracer. You'll see what a hub network does. You'll take some screenshots. We'll use packet tracer just a little more in depth. And an introduction to Wireshark. With this one, watch my video. At least watch my video twice. There are some key concepts, and you have to be kind of quick also. If you do it at home, well, most of you are going to do it at home. When you do it at home, make sure there is the least amount of traffic on your network as possible, because you won't get so many interruptions. When it starts to add to that table, you're looking for entries back and forth from the server. If you get someone else on your network, you're going to get some of their stuff, and your information is going to be broken up slightly. And I believe that's it. Good job so far. I'll start grading today and get back to you guys later on this week.